Sitting we're at 3-9 and eliminated from the playoffs, how would you say the attitude and feeling is here in the locker room with this team?
Well, I mean, it's probably as good as you can expect it to be. I think the coaches have done a good job of trying to keep us together, keep us, concentrating on the main thing, and just trying to win the football game. You kind of turn from, fighting for a playoff spot to just playing spoilers and just playing good football, And I think that there's a lot to say about a team that doesn't have the playoffs to play for, that still goes out there and competes at a high level and fights, with everything we have. And, you can see, in practice today, guys are flying around, practicing hard, and we're going to compete, play some good football.
You got the Rams coming in. This is one of the best offenses in the league right now. Talk about the task ahead for the defense.
It's one of the best teams in football for sure, and the offense is playing really good ball right now. Another old guy over there in Matthew Stafford who, can sling it. He's in complete control of the offense on the field. Like he knows how to all the checks. He just maximizes the playbook, and he makes it tough on anybody, any coordinator, anybody playing against him and stuff. So, but it's always a pleasure to play against brilliant minds. I feel like it brings the best out of me. He is a brilliant mind. And then they have weapons over the field. I'm a big fan of Devontae Adams. I think he's one of the most underrated players in our game. And, still to this day, he's still super elite. And you see it in the numbers and stuff. He's making plays, a lot of plays, but he's been that way his whole career, they got two-headed monster running back, both those guys, little, compact, but real explosive. Gonna have to make sure I'm being real good this week, try to get some tackles. But they are very explosive. Their O-line, stout, they have everything you need. Puka's having Offensive Player of the Year, Word of the Year. As a defense, it's always a challenge for anybody they play against, But for us, I think it's a good challenge, If we go out there and can shut them down, I think it just kind of gives some solace, or more of a moral victory, I guess. But if we go out there and shut them down and win a ball game, definitely will bring a lot of good energy here, And I think at this point in time, too, with such a young team, you have to finish strong to set up your future. Trying to continue to build the culture of a winning culture, so that this team can continue to have success and something to look forward to. And so these young guys, they have to, keep that same mentality of process over results. The results haven't been the way we want them to go, but the process isn't bad. We're preparing the right way. We're in these ball games, and we just got to find a way to finish them, but the process over results. If we could become process-driven consistently, eventually the wins are going to start tallying up.
Calais, a lot of your teammates have come out and supported JG and the staff. Sometimes on losing teams, people can start pointing fingers and fans will say what they say. Just what have you seen from JG and them that you think people still in this locker room support?
Yeah, he's, like I said this before, I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think he says all the right things. He he gives us the ability to have success. He puts us in position for us to go out there and make plays. And through our whole coaching staff, I think we have, quality people who know how to put us in position to win ball games. And we're in every ball game. I think only twice this year we were really winning in the ball game, and even then we still fought and gave ourselves the best chance we could. But you want to win those ball games. But this is not a bad team. This is a team that could very much, be a 13-win, 10-win type, 10+ win type of team. We just didn't get it done this year so far. But if we finish strong, I think that says a lot, and I think that can build that confidence where that, Mr. Bidwell, consider keeping everybody together and going forward again next year. But obviously that's way above my pay grade, and I think Mr. Bidwell is a very smart guy that loves the game and gives people a chance. But I love JG. I think he's a phenomenal coach, and I would love to fight for him.
So would you say the accountability in this locker room is high for everybody? Jacoby said there's no point fingers in here, and everybody takes pretty high accountability.
Yeah, you can say that. I think the biggest thing is that it's a young team. A young team that is learning, go through the growing pains. Even with some of the injuries, we have younger guys getting opportunities to grow. And so, I think the future is definitely going to be bright. You know, that's for sure. You know, these young guys are getting a lot of quality reps, building. You know, I mean, you know, when you get young guys who are learning how to play football games, be in football games, and learn how to, as we hopefully we continue to get better and start improving, start winning some football games late here in the year. I think that'd be tremendous going forward for this organization. You know, these young guys are special.
What, in your experience, is the difference between what you're talking about with, while the record isn't good, but the pieces are in place, the trajectory is right, versus teams where the record isn't good and things are going wrong? And how does that feel different or look different to you?
Yeah, you know, I mean, the goal is to be in every ball game and have a chance to win them. You know, and I think, all but twice, I mean, the last plays matter, I guess 3 times, we won one of them. But the last play again comes down to the last play of the game. And so, I mean, the other, 10 ball games, got to find a way to win at least half those, teams that win more than half, your playoff teams, And so, but I think that, my experience, it just means that you're close. You're close and you got to continue to develop, keep fighting, and keep believing, And that's a big thing. I try to tell the guys, like, these next couple of weeks are going to say a lot about who you are. Adversity is a true revealer of who you are. It's a truth teller, And so, all right, the adversity, we don't have anything to play for. Yes, you do. You're playing for your job. You're playing for a chance to do this again. Because in this business, people want winners. The decision makers want winners. They don't want people who are, not going to make plays that contribute to wins. They're going to find people who win. So if you want to keep playing football, find a way to win some ball games here late in the season, even when, you're only playing for the ability to play football again.
Sitting at 3-9, eliminated from playoff contention, how's the attitude on this team and the players? How do you guys feel about where things are?
I feel like right now the guys in the locker room are trying to take the same approach each week. The mentality is still to go 1-0 this week. We're obligated to still have that mentality because, I'm still competing for the guys on the line. I still got 4 of the guys that are showing up each and every day, putting their helmets on, and are going out there swinging and fighting. I'm obligated to every other guy that's going to carry the ball, that's counting on me to get our block, to do that. And to all the fans who are spending their hard-earned money to show up, to watch us, to support us, we have to put a show on regardless. You know what I mean? It's going to be the same mentality.
Calais just told us nobody's throwing the towel in. Nobody's
Not at all.
saying I'm done, right?
Not at all. And I feel like, that those are one of the things that you have to appreciate about the guys assembled in this room is that I feel like the character of the guys here is high, because you're not sensing I'm trying to think of the word to say, but you're not starting to sense a shift of guys walking around here and starting to feel sorry for themselves. You're not seeing a dip in even today's practice. You're trying to read today's practice, and everyone is with the same intensity. Everyone's starting to continue to sharpen the tools that they have because, again, we're playing against a great team, and it's a great opportunity to go out there and compete, at the highest level. We still have guys at the highest level here. It's not like they're in the NFL and we're not. You know what I mean? I think that's the mentality we all share, is that they still got to see us regardless.
You guys split last year, last year against the Rams. What do you know you're going to get from the Rams D?
I feel at first I was going to say pause,
Oh,
but trying to keep professional. I feel like we know that their front 7, they have a tough group up front, which we love. You want to go against the best of the best. You want to go against the team's ones. They're guys that they're counting on. So that way, when you're putting hands on them, you're shutting down the best that they got. So I think it's a great opportunity to measure ourselves against one of the best defense in the league. I believe they're number 2 right now. So that's what you want to put on tape. And I know guys are hungry to go do that right now.
How frustrating is it when you guys are putting the work in but the wins aren't coming? How frustrating is that?
I feel like the mentality is, again, attack it 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, because I feel like this is going to start to pay off in the future. I feel that with the guys that are going to continue to be here each year. This feeling is still in our minds, and it's going to allow us to come here with that mentality to work. We're not trying to wait till the offseason comes around and restart. No, we're still in it. We have 5 more huge opportunities to show the league we're still fighting, to show each other we're still fighting. That's why we all got selected to be here, and we're not going to walk around here like we don't deserve to be here, because we definitely do. And now we're going to get those wins going.
find the motivation, not so much on a game day, but like the extra little bit of film, the extra rep in the weight room, like given the elimination, like how do you find the motivation that you're talking about to put in those little extra edges?
I feel like the motivation is I'm starting left tackle for one of 32 teams in the NFL. And I want to be the very best, and I want to be seen as the best, you know? So I'm going to have to prepare like the best because I'm still competing. You know what I mean? I'm still doing all those things because I got Evan Brown, who is starting to bank on me that I'm going to know everything I need to know so I can do my job the way he's not worried about me. You know, I got Fro, hoping I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. So I feel like, you know, we're playing with guys' lives out here. Jacoby, you know what I mean? Jacoby's standing and he's starting to fight back there, you know, in the pocket. That's the extra motivation for me to continue to do everything I'm doing, but to still take those steps to keep growing, to keep competing. So I feel like that's what's going to keep you going at the end of the day, you know?